Well, hello there, everyone. Wadsworth the Fifth here. It is a pleasure to see you all again. Welcome back to my humble abode. Today, I had an inclination from a spirit that it was time to tell you what it is like working with spirit and, reading cards and, kind of living spiritually. I will tell you, it is not always the easiest thing, because there is the world around us that many take for granted is, I go work my 9 to 5 and I come home and I pay my bills and I kiss this one and, I pat the kids on the head. And that is a far cry from spirit. Now you would think, spirit is, oh, love and light and everything was glorious and abundance comes to you and you know what? It can, I do believe that, and I believe it will, but you also have to put in the work. And the work is not always things you understand. No, no, no. If only it were that easy. But, just think back to, Jesus. How misunderstood was he? And then here you are, and, trying to work with spirit in the modern day, in this age where darkness has infiltrated propaganda with our schools and our videos and even YouTube. And, it doesn't really matter. There's a little bit of shenanigans everywhere you go. And so you have to go to spirit and learn how to use your intuition and how to protect yourself and who can you trust and what do you trust and what information do you trust. And it can leave you feeling a little like, what is going on here? Because once you finally reach this level, and others aren't there, whether it is your girlfriend, your wife, your children even, perhaps, or just friends, family, coworkers, and you find yourself looking at things from a perspective that is elevated, and it's not looking down on anyone. Everyone's got their own understanding, their own levels, and that's perfectly fine. But it can make coming down to those lower levels kind of tough to understand, comprehend, and work things out even. And, even now financially, spirit has me just kind of chilling. And I am a workaholic. I like to work 60 hours a week. That's not a big deal. So even today, it is Sunday, and it is the Lord's Day of Rest. And here I am going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, wanting a job, wanting to work, and I get nope, nope, nope. Not supposed to happen. Why? Not terribly sure. I do believe there is a little something about choosing love over finances. How that works, not entirely sure. Perhaps I'll pull a card on that one right now because I am curious. So, I would usually use the table in front of the computer and the camera and stuff, but I actually have an art project going on right there right now. So I'm going to do it over here in the back, a little bit on my little counter here. So I'm going to make this work. You've seen me use this one before, the Viking Oracle deck. And, light a guard on there. Cannot get more power than that. So, thank you, Spirit, for coming to the assistance today and helping us all figure out what's going on with our finances or love and finances, because it seems to be going hand in hand right now. So let us see here. Let's see what comes up. One of the other cards I pulled earlier is caught my attention. It says listen closely to hear the messages. So let's see what comes out. No, that's not telling me. Well, that's very interesting. You don't want me to pull a card? No. This one? No? Well, that's funny. See, it has been... This is what it's been like. And it's really frustrating. Trying to work with spirit. And there are things that you can know sometimes, and things that you are not supposed to know sometimes. It's funny, now that I say that, they kind of make the bottom card pop out. Bottom two? That one? No. Bottom two. Okay. So, as you can imagine, life has been a little frustrating for me right now. So, the two cards that came out, Kenaz, which is like that fiery stick there. It's almost like that dragon's mouth or the serpent's mouth with the flame and the smoke. Perhaps it's incense burning away what does not work anymore, what does not serve, and clearing up the space. And that happens a lot with spirit. There is that give and take. Sometimes we hold on to things. The little gifts from spirit, and we're like, oh my god, that's all I have. If you take that, what do I have? But it's like, it's funny because I was having computer issues. It's like a computer run out of memory. And so you have to delete a few things so that you can make room for the clearing, the incense, clearing the space, so that you can then move forward and have something bigger, something better brought in. Frustrating, and I say it with a smile, but that's what this is right here. So, that's Kenaz, thank you. And then the other one, Burkano. So, Burkano, number 18 in the deck, it's a little plant, and there's a leaf, and there's the sun over it, and it's like the sun is shining down on it, and it's this seed coming up with new growth. Okay? So, with new growth, that's what happens after Kenaz, I guess, comes in, clears the space, and even if you don't quite understand what's happening or why it's happening, you're making that room for that new growth. Okay? So, not always easy. You don't always understand the why. This is where trust and faith comes in. Not always the easiest thing, especially in certain cases, I would say like my own at the moment, where shenanigans has been happening for so long that I'm just exhausted. That's the way it is at the moment. It's been a rather long 2 years. We'll put it as that. But I believe there is growth coming. I believe there is new potential. I believe things are changing for the better. And it's the mindset that matters, because when you're losing your cuckoo, it doesn't help. So, even though others around you might think you've already lost it, because you don't look at the universe quite the same way as others around you, it is okay. You're growing. You're making room for what works. The people that leave for a reason, because they're not vibrating at your level anymore. The things that leave are leaving because you're going to be getting better. And that, people, things, girlfriends, new girlfriends, wives, whatever it is, these things change up for a reason, so we can learn lessons, life lessons. Everything's a lesson. Everything's a sign. There are signs everywhere. You don't always have to pull a tarot deck out to see the signs. Sometimes it's, the black cat. There's a black cat that roams my yard out here sometimes. There's, blue jays. My family, the family crest bird. So when I see them, I know that spirits around, that my family's watching over me. So it all depends, but there are signs everywhere. So it's just a matter of opening your mind up a little bit and going, maybe that means a little bit more. What's the meaning behind that? Why did that happen? Why did that spill? Did something spill? Did someone spill the beans on something? I mean, you got to figure out what it is, what it means to you. And it's going to be different for everybody, because we're all on a different journey growing. Thank you, everybody. I hope this helps somebody out there.